What I tell people all the time is, I've had thousands of tenants, maybe tens of thousands by now, and 95% of the people are awesome. They're good, they're reasonable, they pay on time, they call when there's an issue. For whatever reason, 3% of people need to be reminded to pay rent. And then there's the 2%. A lot of the stories we hear are the 2%. But dude, most people are good. Alrighty, folks. One of the things I love to do Sunday morning is bring you new faces, new names, and new stories. I have somebody that just joined our school community, has decades of experience investing himself and helping others. Let's welcome Andrew Caseta to the show. How you doing, Andrew?
Thank you, Mike. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Why don't we just open this, Andrew, and we'll talk about just give us kind of your resume, who you are, what are you doing today, when you got started, and then we'll peel back the onion a little bit and talk about 2021.
Sure. So I've been in the business since about 2010.
Mhm.
I'm an actual lender by trade. I'm a mortgage broker banker. I think I bought my first property 2012.
Okay.
2012.
Mhm.
And I've been buying since. I think I have right now 76 doors,
Wow.
and
Congratulations.
I'm actually still actively buying.
Nice.
Thank you
Well,
very
let's
much.
talk about that. 2012 was actually probably a pretty good year to get involved in the business. It was at or near the low. We may have been coming out of it in some parts of the country. So where were you buying? Were you folk like what was your buy box in 2012?
LA County, I didn't know anything, so I just starting,
You're an
and
LA
I just
County
wanted to own.
investor?
Yes, and
Wow,
I didn't
you're a
really
brave
know
man.
strategy. So my thought process was just to basically work, and save. Save your money. Save your money. Don't go buy your coffee. Don't buy lunch. Save your money, and then find units, and then just go. All
Yeah.
in, and
Yeah,
then once you buy, keep going.
yeah, so that's it sounds like again there's this movement called the fire movement, which was pretty big back in 2012, 13, 14. In my opinion, the fire movement is really about being very restrictive, right? Cutting out all pleasures, even if it's coffee and all of that. And it's funny to hear. And it's funny. I read an article over the weekend. I was going to talk about it in my daily financial news, but I didn't. There was a guy named Brandon, I'm going to say Gaunch, AKA Mad Fientis. This is what he goes by. In 2016, at 34, he retired financially free because of fire by saving 70% of his income. And now he regrets it because he was too restrictive. He didn't do anything. Apparently, he read a book by, I want to make sure I get this right, Bill Perkins, Die with Zero, that really emphasized financial independence, but also enjoying life experiences in the present. So I may have to go buy that book, Die with Zero. But it sounds like that's kind of where you were. It was like, hey, let me squirrel away as many pennies as I can, save up a down payment, buy. Squirrel away any pennies, save it, buy. And
Right,
that's what you
exactly,
were doing
exactly.
in
I
12.
was at my parents' house too, so it
Oh,
was helpful. I was able to save a
yeah, I'm
lot of
sure.
money, and yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So 2012, pretty good time to buy LA County. As we go through, as we move down the timeline, it sounds you probably pivoted or transitioned. You may have picked up. I think the big thing that came after the bottom was something called Burr. Right, Bigger Pockets started talking about Burr, and I don't know. Did you ever kind of jump in and do the Burr strategy?
Right, exactly. Yes, yeah. So I kept buying, and then at a certain point, Bird worked, and then guidelines change, rules change, the interest
Yeah.
rates change. So like every couple years, things pivot, things change a little bit. So probably maybe like 2017, 18, Bird was tough. Bird got
Yeah.
really tough. Um, so then I kind of changed to HELOCs, closed end seconds, and then now, as of lately, I'm like really big on I like I basically cross assets.
Right.
So if I can get a property at a discount, I could put an actual temporary second position note on a
Mhm.
on a property, use that right as a down payment.
Sure.
and then I basically get in, without a lot of money down.
So you're really what you're looking at is you, because I think that when I talk to people, there's really two phases. There's a growth phase and a chill phase. You're still in growth phase. You are
I'm in
still,
growth, yes.
yeah, you're still moving equity around. This is what I did. All right, I did this for. When I say I, please understand, I mean we, Olivia and I, because we did this together. We were always like, I never got, if I ever got like below 70% LTV, I was looking for equity extraction because I was just continually moving it around it. And one thing I want people to take from this is you can't be a one-trick pony in real estate. What worked in 2012 didn't work in 16. What worked in 16 didn't work in 18. What worked in 18 didn't work in 21. But there are still some tried and true measures. You have to have a buy box. You have to be focused. You have to have discipline. You can't get distracted by shiny objects. And you make your money when you buy. That's just what so many people get wrong. I hate this whole bet on appreciation nonsense. There's a lot of people out there that in 23, maybe more 24, because it became harder, they just said, buy negative cash flow. I call them alligators. And appreciation will bail you out. Or better yet, how many times did you hear this? You're a mortgage lender. I hope you never said this, but if you did, shame on you. Buy the house, marry the house, date the rate. Oh my God, that was terrible advice.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I agree with that. Totally.
Yeah. It was bad.
This is an actual skill business too, Mike. I mean, it's not force. This is not force. This is skill. And just like in baseball, basketball, you get better. You get better, and so you basically have to constantly be, learning new methods, programs, products. I would urge anybody buying property, really learn the banking business, lending business. If you know products, programs, guidelines, you're going to be much better, at the buying process.
I love this. This is so much fun. So 75 units. It's been about, what has it been? 13 years, kind of 13-year journey, roughly.
Correct.
Now, are these mainly houses, duplexes, quads, a whole mix of stuff, or what's Andrew's?
I have some houses. I have some houses. Most of them are 2 to 4 units. Most of them.
So mostly residential.
Correct.
Okay. What's your
a 7-unit, an office building, a parking lot. So there's kind of mixed.
A parking lot. Tell me that story. How'd you buy a?
It just came with the building, and I currently have a tenant there who basically puts their actual fleet of vans there, and they pay rent. Great tenants, and
so is it? So again, I love talking to people that have done stuff I haven't done. So you lease the office building and then you lease the parking lot separate, like they're separate leases, or are they together?
Correct. No, two different leases. It's separated from the building. It's its own parcel, and I thought that the neighboring office tenants would possibly want to share the parking lot, but there was no appetite for it, so I gated it off and then just found a tenant for that.
Nice. Again, I'm going to ask questions just because this is so cool. I'm going to guess it's a triple net lease, meaning you as the owner just pay for what? Taxes and insurance, and
Correct.
They pay for everything else, cleanup and security or whatever?
Correct, yeah.
Nice.
I just put up an actual real nice fence around it.
Yeah, you put up the capital to fence it in. And
paved it, right.
Yeah. Oh, and when did you pick that up?
This was like last year. Okay. Thank you, Mike, too. You've been awesome. The market completely changed, right? At 2021, it was a violent, quick, fast change.
Yeah, it was.
And there was lots of information that was coming out that wasn't positive, was not positive. And,
I call them crash bros and doomers, man. They took off in 2021. These people were failed. I mean, if you look at who the doomers are, there's a failed mortgage broker, there's a failed real estate agent, and there's a failed underwriter. These people sucked at their job and they're suddenly becoming real estate experts preaching doom. No, guys, you suck at your job. It's not all doom and gloom. I'm sorry. But yeah, 2021, doom was a big deal.
there was probably some people who reacted to that information and possibly made poor choices. It's basically fight, flight, freeze. And I heard that, and it's actually kind of scary because these are assets, right? But there's actually underlying risk always.
Oh, yeah.
So you're kind of hearing that info, and you kind of pause a little bit, but your data was daily, steadfast, fact based. You had great guess. So helpful,
Yeah.
very helpful.
Yeah, we got 2021 right. We helped a lot of people, but I'm getting more notes today because as my channel grows, I'm starting to get into the Crash Bro universe, right? They're starting to come. Some of them are still angry and pissed off. Hey, it's not my fault you listened to an idiot who was bad at their job. But others are saying, hey, I wasted a year. I wasted 2 years. And dude, I mean, there's some folks, this is so sad to me. Some folks, well, all of them, they missed out on lifetime interest rates, sub 3%. They missed out on near record affordability. Affordability in 2021 and 2022 was almost a record in 50 years. And these are things I was saying in 21 and 22. I'm like, how can you have a crash when affordability is this good? You freaking idiots.
Right.
And some people, Andrew, they will never buy. They missed their window. These crash bros and doomers financially injured them for their lifetime. And some people are still watching these idiots. I can't believe it. It's crazy.
Right. And then your guidance, it kind of helped me stay focused, calm. I was just very pensive, very actively watching the market. And then I actually still bought through the market shift.
What was the lowest interest rate you got during that time?
I think on our house we have a 2.75, which isn't bad.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah. DSCRs were going for about 3.5%.
Yeah, DSCR loan. I got a 30-year fixed on a like an apartment building, 399. 30-year fixed on an apartment building. 30-year fixed.
Awesome.
Yeah. Shout out Steve, Velocity Mortgage, Stephen Dow. That's crazy. I mean, like everybody's like, you can't get 30-year money on apartments. Shit, I got a lot of them. I mean, what are you talking about? You can't do it. You can't do it. Anyways, it's crazy. So so all your units, LA County.
I would say most. I actually try to buy down the 10 okay. freeway, which basically goes from the IE to the water.
Okay.
And I kind of concentrate that area.
All California, all SoCal.
Oh yeah, all of it. Yes.
Okay.
Because it's easier to just find partners. You're a lawyer, you're painters, plumbers, roofers. They're all kind of based around there.
Yeah.
So it's actually easier to manage.
So,
I self-manage too.
Oh wow, you self-manage. All right, Tell me about that. How does that, like? Do you have I don't know, do you have employees or 1099s or like repair people, or you just have a big list of people you call?
I have staff for the actual mortgage business, but for the management company, no. No, I just self-manage it.
Man, the lumberjack landlord would love you.
Yeah, I think if you can deal with people and you're honest, you're fair, you're like very straightforward. You're kind, but you're firm. It's not a challenging task.
Yeah, what I tell people all the time. Sorry, what I tell people all the time is, I've had thousands of tenants, maybe tens of thousands by now, and 95% of the people are awesome. They're good, they're reasonable, they pay on time, they call when there's an issue. For whatever reason, 3% of people need to be reminded to pay rent, and then there's the 2%. A lot of the stories we hear are the 2%. But dude, most people are good. Most people are good, I believe.
I also see them as clients, keep them happy, if they call, react quickly, don't sit on it for, weeks and weeks.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you're doing well, Andrew. So I'm curious, 75 units today. Actually, let me ask you this question. LA County's been wild on like California in general, tenant friendly. LA County, tenant friendly. What's that been like, during the pandemic and all these rule changes? And I mean, I think I've said it more than a couple of times. Like LA, like if I found a property in LA County, no thanks. But you're making it work, man. What's that all about?
No, I mean we've been blessed. Everybody paid throughout COVID. I think
Wow.
the kind of one challenging aspect is that some of the units have actually very very low rents,
Okay.
and you're basically stuck there.
You're
It's
stuck. Yeah.
going to be an actual slow trek upwards, but it's just part of it.
Yeah. If you buy them right, it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
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 That's the key.
You can
I
give cash for the keys too, but
sure.
like once you make the math, it's really not really worth it.
No, yeah, cash for keys. Like, how much do I really have to offer to make this work? So, I don't know LA County rules, but in California, I believe you can do 5% plus CPI or plus inflation is the maximum. Is LA County the same, or do you have different rules?
It's the same, but some actual cities have even very very stricter
Yeah.
guidance on it.
Oh,
Pomona
okay.
is one city. I think that it's actually 4% right now. Is the
Okay.
cap,
Oh wow.
which is tough, right?
Yeah. It's
I have a lot of stuff
again.
over there.
Yeah. It's the key to all of this. I said it earlier is how you buy it. Right. Don't let a seller talk you into these future or pro forma rents. No. We're talking about current rents, boy, especially in Pomona, right? If the max rent increase is 4%, unless you're going to deliver the property vacant to me, don't talk about pro formas. That's just not fair, right?
Right, exactly.
Nice.
Exactly.
What was the last thing you bought? Let's talk about that. What was the last thing you bought?
Um, the last, I'm in talks now, on an actual seller carry deal,
Oh,
a
let's talk about
14
that.
unit,
Oh,
a 14 unit. I would also tell your guests too, you're bankable with the banks, right? You have your income assets credit, but
mhm.
there's also something that's not talked about. You have to be bankable with your peers. You got to be a national straight shooter. You got to be don't don't be
Yeah.
posting wild things on your Facebook page. Try to be humble and
Yeah.
a decent person. And then people will actually offer you
Yeah.
great
Yeah, you build your reputation. Warren Buffett, I think
opportunities.
Warren Buffett and his partner, who just passed away, Charlie Munger, they basically, I think actually Buffett said this the other day. He basically said, "I can stand losing money, but I can't stand you hurting our reputation." And there's so
That's
much
great.
in that, right? And the other thing I was going to say is, it takes 30 years to build a reputation, but 30 seconds to ruin it. That's
I
how people
totally.
should think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's
Yeah.
tell me about the 14 unit. It sounds like somebody brought it to you.
Yeah. We didn't actually nail down term yet, but
Sure.
we're actually close. I love Pace Morby's quote. He says, "I'll give you the price,
Yep.
just help me with terms."
Yeah. Seller financing is amazing when you can find it work. Because again, if you do it right, you can give them their price and you can get your terms, and everybody wins.
Exactly, and then oftentimes they're going to cash flow more, off of the actual seller carry
Yeah,
interest
exactly.
payments. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, Olivia and I did a 14 unit package about 3 years ago. I think it was two fourplexes, a triplex, and three houses. I think that makes 14. And I think we ended up giving him 5,100 a month for his interest. I think we gave him 20% down, maybe 15. But the rents on those units are now 20 grand, right?
Wow.
So he
Okay.
he won, we won, and yeah. And again, it's funny on seller financing. I never talk interest rate. I never ever talk interest rate. I'm like, this is all I can afford to pay, right? If you want this price and I need this payment, this is what happens. Magic. That's what the interest rate is.
Right.
I think too many
What?
people get stuck on talking interest rate.
Yeah. My personal box for financing is 1 to 4 units. So
Mhm.
this is kind of out of the box. But what I'm and this might possibly help, your guest viewers. What we're trying to do is make an LLC.
Mhm.
Okay, cash out
Mhm.
of the property, give the current owner the cash out,
Sure.
and then you can buy him out of the LLC,
Mm.
and then he can carry paper for what's shortfall.
Sure.
But you can't carry it on that property. I think lots of these loans, they don't let you have.
Yeah, because the lender
subordinate
doesn't
debt.
want more debt. Yeah. So let's just play this out for folks. And now this is something you could do because you have other assets. So let's just play it out. Let's say you're 200K short. Instead of putting a second, which maybe people naturally think on that unit, you'll take 200K out of another asset and say, hey, I'll make you good. I'll make you whole with this. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, or you can ask them to carry you, but don't tie it to the actual subject property.
Oh, just make it like a personal loan.
Different.
Yeah.
Well, tied to an asset.
Right.
Tied to an actual different asset.
Yeah, that's the key, right?
Second position.
Yeah, I'm going to give you like, hey, we're talking about this 14 units, but I have a 5-bedroom, 3-bath house with a bunch of equity. I can't give you the 200K on this asset because the bank will poo-poo or shit can the loan.
Right.
But I can put it over here.
Correct.
And, yeah, it makes total sense.
Correct.
Again, these are the games when you're in growth mode, right? When you're in year 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These are choices you have. Now, some people are in chill mode, right? Dion from Dion Talk, he's like, hey, I'm going to let the income snowball help me. I'm going to buy the next asset. I'm not going to take any of my equity out. Great strategy. It absolutely works. But some people, myself included, the lumberjack included, Andrew, yourself included, it's like, hey, I'm going to go play the real life game of Monopoly. I'm going to take these greenhouses. I'm going to move them around and make some red hotels. And, I'm just going to play Monopoly in real life. That's what you're doing.
Right.
Right? Oh,
yep.
that's awesome.
Correct.
That's awesome.
And then you know what's sorry to chime in.
No.
What's pretty cool is, let's see, like on the gross collected rents, let's say that, it's like $120,000. Let's just say per each month.
Yep.
If you do a 4% raise on everything every year, you're basically giving your bottom line a probably $5,000 raise.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Every year, every month.
Yeah. It's a $60,000 a year raise. Even if you want to be cute with it and say, hey, you're not going to get all of that because taxes and insurance go up. Okay, great. You're going to get a $3,500 raise, which is awesome. I do want to ask, you're a very experienced guy. You signed up for school, right? A lot of people join school. They don't have anything. They have 1 or 2. I love the fact that, you've got 75 units. You got a decade in the business, but you're like, hey, I want to be a part of this community. So
Totally.
Why'd you sign up? Have you had some fun already? What's going on?
So, Mike, when I was first starting in this business, YouTube wasn't really a thing,
right?
And people that had assets or are buying, I just felt like the culture was kind of more closed off, and to get info, you would have to know somebody or kind of have a family friend, who's actively doing it, and the culture was very closed off,
Yes.
And then now, it seems very open, and these networks are vital. It's worth it, totally worth it. And your actual map feature is awesome. We should have meetups like little chapters.
That is my vision, right? That we added. So you have to go on the desktop version. It's not available on the mobile. But if you look in the upper right corner on the homepage, there's this little map icon, or actually it's not an icon. It's like a link. You can see, I think there's 140 people that have registered where they are. Don't put your home address. Don't be silly. Put a Starbucks, put a McDonald's, whatever you want. I'm in there, for example. And yeah, I'd love to see meetups. That's my vision for One Rental at a Time. Today, Andrew, I'm probably best known for a best-selling book, One Rental at a Time, or, my YouTube channel. I want to be known for this school community. It is purposely priced at 67 pennies a day to keep away the doomers who can't afford 67 pennies a day. But it's cheap enough where everybody can afford it, right? It's 2 cups of Starbucks or whatever. And there's 6 masterminds, 6 meetups that I don't attend. It's just full of go-givers who are asking questions, networking, helping. But yeah, my big vision for this is we get to a point where like there's an LA County chapter, there's a Washington chapter, there's a Dallas chapter, and just other go-givers step in to do that. So
Right,
that
exactly.
is my vision. That's what I'm trying to get done.
Right, exactly. No, it's awesome. Worth it. Worth it.
Nice. Yeah, 67 cents a day. Come on, that's just silly. I didn't know if I was going to ask you this, but I will. Are you planning to come to Vegas in February? Or are you busy? You're not sure
Yes,
yet?
yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Have you bought your ticket yet or no?
No, no, no. I didn't get it yet, but we're gonna be out there.
Nice. When you say we,
My wife's gonna come with me too.
wow, the
Yes.
couples are. That's the key. So do me a favor when you come out, make sure I introduce you to Jason Pritchard and his wife Jen. He's on the Mount Rushmore of investors. Also down in Southern California, Andrew. Why did I say Andrew? Adrian Hernandez is a big player down there in Orange County, out to the Inland Empire. Make sure I introduce you to him. So yeah, make sure you look me up, find me, and I'll make those introductions for you.
Perfect, Mike. Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
I think the key to the event. So when you come to again, people don't understand. My event is like nothing else. I bring all the millionaires that can come, and anytime they talk, it's like 10 or 15 minutes of a story that I want them to resonate or a topic. But then there's a microphone. The audience gets to line up and ask questions, right? There's no back of the room nonsense. Hey, my $10,000 mastermind's on sale for $9.99. Come get it now. There's none of that crap. And it's just a celebration. It's a community of like-minded people. You'll see, dude. It's so much fun. It's so much fun.
Yeah, no, like I had said, this is skill. This is not force. This is skill. So you can get better. You can hear strategies. Different viewpoints.
Build your
underwriting
network.
Guidance from your peers. Worth it.
Yeah, this is so much fun. So again, folks, if you're in school, look up Andrew. Let him know he did a great job today. Some folks get on these channels and they're a little bit nervous, but Andrew crushed this. Andrew, if somebody wanted to reach out to you in Southern California, how do they do that?
Our internet site is PEMTG.com, or call me 626-825-6565.
Folks, you know what? Let's text him. Andrew, one more time. What's the number to text you and say hi and all of that?
626-825-6565.
And I assume you can support people all over California, or how far do you go?
Correct. Yes. Some of the programs we actually do, every state.
Okay.
Every state of California. So each program is a little bit different. But even if I can help you, call me and I'll actually share with you what I think is your baseline.
Folks, again, you got a player here. He's been in the business since 2012. He's built a portfolio in Southern California of 75 units, houses, fourplex, a 7-unit, a parking lot, for heaven's sakes. He is still in growth mode. He's moving equity around. A lot of you ask me how to do this. He's doing it. Just reach out to him, say hi, say thank you, and just make another good contact. Thank you, Andrew, for joining school. Thank you for giving me time this Sunday morning.
Thank you for having me, Mike.
You're
Huge
amazing,
honor.
man. Take care.
Thanks
and
so
again,
much.
Remember, look me up in Vegas. I want you to meet Jason.
Oh, yes.
And,
Yes,
his wife,
absolutely.
Ann, his wife, Jen, and then Adrian Hernandez. Take care.
Okay, sweet. Thanks, Mike.